What's up? This is for March 31st, 2026. Price action going into the morning. Here's the 4-hour chart. We have closed above the change in the state after manipulating internal sell side. We have a 4-hour for value gap resting higher. We have a daily for value gap resting higher. We have just cleared out these stacked lows. We have swept yesterday's low, displaced higher, and manipulated internal buy side. So we're showing signs of reversal. We've taken internal sell side. We're holding this 15-minute bullish. And we have generated buy side. So coming into market open, I'm just waiting to see where we're at, what we're doing. So we open, we displace higher. This is the Trump news high that I had outlined. So we're just waiting to see something take place. Obviously, everything is super bullish, and yeah. So we're moving higher. We take this internal buy side. Still bullish, like we're not bearish at all. 15-minute, we're displacing higher. Hourly, we're displacing higher. We're displacing out of this change in the state. We're getting up into the daily for value gap. We move lower. At this point, so I was bearish on the day. I will start by saying that. I was bearish because we had all those internal lows that were in place and we had this big opening range gap. I should have been bullish because that's what price was presenting. But nonetheless, this was my execution. So now price takes the internal high at this buy side level. There is an SMT. And what is my model, right? It's generated sell side, which we do have. There's this big for value gap right here. But so I entered on the break of this change in the state. My stop was about here. I was targeting the opening range gap. I got stopped out. There was no SMT when I entered, so now that we have an SMT, I would be looking for the same exact model. So now we have closed through the series of up close candles that created the internal SMT. So this, if I were bearish, I would have liked to see this be my entry. This is the bearish asset. Stop above the high, get trim in here. And it'd be like this. But I entered, so really just learning on the day, I should have been bullish. And then the second entry that I took was bullish It was a forced entry. It should have been taken. Just need to wait for A plus opportunity. I was definitely thinking about the money aspect of things and not thinking about the chart. I was not clued into the higher time frame, and overall I was just in a very worldly view on what I was focused on, and I was very clued into the 1 minute, basically just searching for an entry, and that's just not what I want to see for myself. I don't need to search for an entry. I just need to allow it to tell me what price is going to do, right? So this was a little bit better. Price then taps the opening range gap and then makes its run higher. We then have internal manipulation. And then price runs way higher the rest of the day. Filling this. Opening range gap up here. And continuing to generate all this sell side. So here is my first entry. You can see I was targeting the opening range gap. 15 minute was obviously bullish. We had displaced away from the opening range gap. Just obviously a very early entry, even the 5 minute. We saw on the daily there in the 4 hour that there was a daily for value gap that we had not yet tapped into. And we just end up getting stopped out on a return up to take internal buy side and then finally run in to tap into the opening range gap. So right here, if I paused it, we would see the internal SMT to take the low. I should have moved my stop to break even right here. So now we have a bullish model where we have made a change in the state. Now we're displacing higher. Internal is bullish as fuck, but still a good amount of room to rebalance down to. Now we're returning to the change in the state. We do one more manipulation move, and price holds bullish in the 5 minute for value gap, runs up to take the internal high. We can see NQ take it. This is where I basically force an entry after my shorts get stopped out, because there is an internal model here. However, we've already taken buy side. Now we're taking internal buy side, right? So I'm looking at chart, or sorry, P&L, which is fucking stupid. So I enter, I know that I feel pretty confident that we're gonna go take that. Internal buy side level. I should have got stopped out because this was just a bullshit trade, in all honesty. So we move higher to take internal buy side, and move my stop to break even, and we get stopped out. This kind of day, you kind of just have to step back and reevaluate from a aspect where you're not thinking about, oh my god, everything's going wrong. You just have to say, okay, what have I done in the past that has gotten me to this point, that has gone really well? And how can I emphasize on that moving forward? You don't have to reinvent the wheel just because you have a couple days where you don't execute 100% correctly, right? Over time, you have to just be consistent and not worry about the day-to-day. So it's okay.